And is Justice Winslow, shown here with his own picture with a trophy. Let me take you to Indiana and Andy Scholes. And he noticed that a lot of Wisconsin fans were in the audience. Good morning.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, it's been pouring rain all morning here in Indianapolis. I like to think it's probably Wisconsin tears because there were so many fans, Badger fans, in attendance last night. It was almost like a home game for Wisconsin. I say it was 80-20 Badgers fans here in Indianapolis. And one of the most famous former Badgers, J.J. Watt, was in the stand sitting with Caroline Wozniak.
John.
Happened, but I think that it's clear that protecting a survivor doesn't mean not verifying the story.
The author of the article has apologized to the UVA community, but the critics point out she did not specifically apologize to that fraternity accused. Rolling Stone notes, too, that she's going to keep her job. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul makes his bid for the White House official today. The Tea Party favorite's going to take questions as well from voters on Facebook right after that announcement. He's known for staging a nearly 13-hour filibuster to delay the nomination of CIA Director John Brennan. That was in 2013. And then a recent CNN ORC poll showed him near the top of the prospective GOP field. Texas Senator Ted Cruz has already announced that he will be running for the White House. Get a load of this. Starbucks will pay for 4 years tuition for not only its full-timers, but its part-time employees, too. So we're talking free. Are there any catches? Because Jen notes that's potentially thousands upon thousands of free degrees.
Yeah. Now, it's a little different from most degrees because this is an online degree, but still, it is from Arizona State. And Starbucks is basically upping their promise. Before, they said they'd help with 2 years. Now they're saying full ride for your bachelor's. Now, that works not only to help motivate their employees to, first of all, stick around, to, second of all, get people who are maybe up and coming and ambitious, but it also helps their customers, because what Starbucks want is a reputation for being good to their workers. That is something that is very important to millennial coffee drinkers. So, yeah, it's for employees that work at least 20 hours a week. The CEO said everybody deserves a chance at the American dream.
So basically, they're footing the bill. It's not like they have a special agreement with Arizona State for something to be discounted for them.
Well, maybe they do. We don't know the terms of that.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah.
And I wonder, too, if it's going to help their PR after the Race Together, Write It on the Cups campaign that some people was like, I just want my coffee.
I wasn't sure how much that hurt them, though, because some people thought, well, at least
yeah,
they tried. It wasn't masterful try, but...
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes. It was all about the celebs' most memorable year on Dancing with the Stars last night. Patti LaBelle danced to a song that she recorded right after her son was born in the 70s. Having so much fun on the show, isn't she? And you have to see the amazing dance from Army vet Noah Galloway as well.
I'll bear that cross with honor, 'cause freedom don't come free. I'm American soldier.
Oh, that brings tears to my eyes. Noah chose the year that he lost his arm and leg in Iraq and got a standing ovation from the judges and the audience. Football player Michael Sam was the one voted off. He said the show's awesome, and he thanked his fans for all of their support. It is 8 minutes past the hour. And weather. Okay, so I saw the pollen was, actually I felt the pollen was back in some areas, and I think that's because we've seen some warmer weather.
Yeah.
But not everywhere, obviously. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Pollen explodes this time of year, and especially in the south. You get the warm temperatures, some rain coming in when you have a catcher's mitt as a nose. It's not a good thing. There's no doubt about it. But here's the frontal boundary scene for the afternoon and the morning. You're watching a cold front slide close to Washington and a warm front rising up from the south for the afternoon. St. Louis, already the clouds in place. Shower storms are on the way. Look at northern Missouri, and this one severe thunderstorm complex. You can see all the lightning dancing around here, but the severity is because of the large hail and the damaging winds possibly out there for the morning. 60-mile-per-hour gusts as it heads out of Columbia towards a Hannibal area into Canton, too. So we're watching that for the morning. More rain and a lot of lightning around middle parts of Kentucky and in the lower parts of Indiana and Illinois, too. Everything's sliding over to the east through the Ohio region. So you have that to look forward to. More rain. South Carolina, North Carolina, up through Virginia. More pockets of rain. Again, it's an active morning, but this is not severe. Little light snow and temperatures right now, single digits. Northern parts of Maine. A little bit of light snow around Bangor also. Back to the west we go. Chicago drying out, but more rain for the afternoon. Showers and some embedded thunderstorms rolling through middle parts of Ohio, and then it's all light snow around Minnesota into Wisconsin. Take it through the next couple of days. Cold front chugging on by, and that means severe weather is a possibility, especially tomorrow through Thursday. Look at all the rain piling up. Louisville all the way.
Free for 60 days. Act now and get this shredder, a $29 value, free when you use promo code YES. Call 1-800-520-8896. That's 1-800-520-8896. Call now.
You know, the feds apparently don't want you to know that they've got a secret kill switch that can turn off all cell phones immediately. Wow. Good morning.
Good morning. And this is what's emerging in court, according to reports. A court of appeals has given the White House 2 weeks to provide some details about this. And we only are learning about it because they're being sued by a group called EPIC, basically privacy advocates in some way, to find out what's going on. The program is apparently called Standard Operating Procedure 303. Now, I'm just going to say it's interesting to call it standard operating procedure when it's obviously not standard operating procedure, and it's obviously meant for an extreme emergency. But it's called that. Now, apparently it was created after the London terror attacks in 2005, when, you may remember, terrorists called mobile phones, and they were used basically as detonators. It set off some of the subway bombs. So, very interesting, but we don't know much about this yet. We'll see. Snapchat has started using emojis instead of your friends' names. That kind of goes with their whole mode of being a little bit more private compared to other social apps. So your best friend might show up as a gold heart. And if you've been snapping back and forth with somebody a lot over a few days, Snapchat can smell that maybe there's a little smoke in the air. They're going to show fire. Maybe something's going on. Now, by the way, Snapchat does not explain things like this or make announcements. They basically let people kind of find them, and then when they use them, somebody else says, hey, how'd you do that? And people talk to each other more.
But that would help you, I guess, keep your messages private, or who it is, at least, that you're texting.
But I think they also like it because it just brings you in a little bit more. Ooh,
yeah.
Did you know?
Somebody put a statue of Edward Snowden in a park in New York, and only a few people know who's behind that sculpture. And then Jeb Bush apparently claimed he was Hispanic. Now he says this is an honest mistake, but you're going to hear where it happened and the ribbing that he got from his family.
Think you know the internet?
Snapchat.
Operation?
Hunger Games.
Try your hand at Keywords, an addictive new game show for search and tag trivia.
We're not trying to break the internet, we're trying to win it.
We give you 5 keyword clues and you try to guess what we're searching for.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
But you better think quick.
Bella, oh my gosh.
Pitch perfect. Keywords new episode tonight at 10 p.m. on HLN.
If you're battling addiction, it's not easy to ask for help. End Addiction would like to help you. End Addiction can help you get immediate admission into a recovery center near you. Many insurance plans will pay up to $30,000 for the cost of getting you help with no money out of pocket. The first step to ending addiction starts with one free, private, and no obligation call. There are things you still need to do. The first thing is to call End Addiction.
1-800-435-1043.
I'm trying to make her a country fan with that song yet. All right, it is spring, and we said, well, if you had to spring clean something other than, like, you know, the surface of something, would you spring clean your life, your relationships? What about your fashion, if you must? Anyway, we learned from our well, there's like a stylist who tells us what to wear and what not to wear, even though we don't necessarily, we're not always good students. But anyway, she said,
she said, no.
She says there are three things, ladies especially, you want to kiss goodbye this season, this year, to give yourself a modern edge. So I said, where? I can't see. Here diagonally. Pretty sneaky, sis. And that's coming up in a few. Are you sitting with me for a reason? What's this?
Yes, it's coming up.
Okay, gotcha. Meanwhile, I'll keep doing it. So a police officer in Minneapolis is accused of threatening to break a teen's leg after the 17-year-old asked, why are my friends and I being pulled over? It was caught on tape.
Plain and simple, if you with me, I'm going to break your leg before you get a chance to run. Be honest. I don't screw around.
You said I was going to run.
I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm trying to be officer friendly right now.
Well, one of the 14th in the car obviously was using his cell phone recording that. The cops handcuffed the teens and did let them go about an hour later. The officers said that they were suspected of stealing a car. The teens say that they believe they were racially profiled. Now, police in Minneapolis say that they are investigating the case. Well, it's tacky enough to be dumped by text message, but one person got served with divorce papers via Facebook. And Jen shows you how. Good morning.
Good morning. I mean, this is a very new ruling, and people are saying this is revolutionary in the legal world. A New York judge ruling divorce papers can be served through a Facebook message. So it wasn't on the page where everybody could see it, but through that more private Facebook Messenger. It may not be traditional, said the judge, but it achieves the purpose because every defendant in this country has a right to know if they're being sued. Now, I do want to tell you that it was a wife who was serving her estranged husband, and the wife said that many other ways were tried first, but they weren't successful, including a private investigator to track them down.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. One divorce lawyer, though, said this could be a lot more effective than what the system we have now, which is, you know, even going to a notice in the classified ads. Who's going to be reading that? Interesting, though. Yikes. What's in that Facebook Messenger? All right, we've been talking about minimum wage. And you know that April 15th, you probably know there's a big nationwide protest plan. Workers want $15 an hour. We're hearing some companies say they're giving out 9 or 10. Well, guess what the CEOs are making? They are averaging an hour, and this is in the same industry, $5,800.
If you did it by hour.
If you did it by hour, yeah, just in an hour. This was all put together by some data crunchers for USA Today. It includes their stock and bonuses. Some of the top earners are at Chipotle. So I want to break it down. They've got 2 co-CEOs. They each make about $13,000 an hour. An hour.
To which you would say, I'll gladly do overtime.
And meanwhile, you saw the average worker's pay there, right? $9.15.
Makes you stop and think when you break it down that way. All right, so Diane Sawyer promises her interview with Bruce Jenner is going to be far-ranging. The story is trending today. ABC confirms that Sawyer has recorded a 2-hour interview with Jenner to air on April 24th. There's speculation that Jenner may plan to transition to a woman, but he's never publicly confirmed that. Jenner's mom has said that she's at peace with who he is and what he's doing. KFC hopes to attract younger customers with 2 new dinner bowls. You got your sweet and spicy barbecue and your zesty Tex-Mex. They're on the menu, and the company wants people to know they don't just only do buckets of chicken anymore. The show, Game of Thrones, has gotten the Sesame Street treatment, I say.
We will play a game of chess. These 4 players who want to be king or queen.
Sesame Street, did you know they've spoofed other popular shows like House of Cards, Homeland, and Mad Men? You can catch other such trending stories on the Daily Share that begins at noon Eastern.
Kids don't watch this version because if it was real, they'd be like chopping each other apart.
A Girl Scout asked customers, hey, could you buy an extra box of cookies? But she had a reason for it at the hospital.
They have no fear of outfield walls. Not Golden Corral's Seafood Spectacular.
This apartment complex suffered smoke inhalation. They do know that many have already been treated and released from local hospitals. The woman who was caught in
is convicted on at least one of those counts.
Program. It also builds their reputation as a company that cares for workers. That's important to millennial coffee drinkers. Starbucks says so far nearly 2,000 people have hit the books under the program. And by the way, once you graduate, you don't have to stay with Starbucks.
So basically no catch here.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it yet.
You got to keep your grades up.
Okay.
That's the only catch.
That's amazing. And I wonder, too, sometimes when a big company does this, could it start a trend where you see like-minded companies doing the same type of thing for their workers? Yeah. First Lady Michelle Obama showed off some of her dance moves at the White House Easter egg roll.
Let's go, let's go.
Never missed a beat. She danced Uptown Funk with the All-Stars from So You Think You Can Dance. Now, the First Lady was celebrating the 5th anniversary already of the Let's Move fitness campaign. I wonder if she choreographed it or if they choreographed it. Who learned from who? Good job, though. 8 minutes past the hour. All right, so, I just looked over and there was no camera.
Listen, the less I'm on camera, the
stretch.
better.
Watch. Magnificent. It is a stretch.
The less I'm on camera, the better.
Yeah.
That's what they keep on telling us. I don't know.
No, really, I was just stretching. Okay, so we have a little bit of winter. I hope it's less left than we had before I went on vacation, Bob.
Yeah, when we had almost blizzard-like conditions across the upper Midwest around Wisconsin and